Only chest formula you're ever gonna need. Coming from someone whose chest genetics were absolutely garbage. I'm talking to a point where like the rest of my body finally grew. Like shoulders and chest were always really tough for me to grow, biceps as well. And I kid you not, it was like chest was the last one to speed up. And still, I would say it's still a genetic weak spot. But I had no choice but to figure out the answers that gave me what I wanted. Oh, back at it again with another video from the dungeon. You guys know what time it is. Let's not waste any time here. Time to take off the pump cover. Unfortunately, I'm not tucked in. You guys know that is a rule. Not really one that's that important, let's be honest, but it's kind of fun to do at this point. I'm gonna teach you guys basically the only chest formula you're ever gonna need. I had no choice but to figure out the answers that gave me what I wanted. That forced me to go so deep into the details of stuff. Not just what exercises to do, but how to set them up, how to package them up. All these factors that I'm kind of playing around with in my own head to then come out with the simplest answers. And it's funny, it's how it works. You have to go through these layers of confusion over and over to a point where you're like, dude, this is just impossible. And then eventually you get a little bit of a nugget and you're like, ooh, that was interesting. And then you start kind of piggybacking off of that, and now you allow momentum to do its thing. And it's incredible. And so the way I set up everything, understand what my goals are before we get into everything. My goals are everything. I want mobility, I want strength, I want muscle, I want explosiveness, I want it all. But I also don't want to spend my life inside of a gym. And that's kind of funny considering I'm doing 2-a-days now. But the difference is I'm not really thinking about what I'm doing. Like I'm telling you this, I barely think about my own health and fitness. Legitimately. I don't think about in my head like, oh, like did I eat enough food or I don't think any of that. I just let my intuition take me. I have my formula that's just so damn effective. Doesn't require too much time. Like if you combine both training sessions in a day that I've been doing for the past couple months, it probably adds up to like an hour and a half, to be honest with you. And that's like including me like kind of warming up and be like, this is kind of stupid. Honestly, the thing that takes me a longer time is I'm trying to figure out stuff, learning new stuff to then provide to you guys. That's probably what it is for me. But for my own personal health and fitness of like, I'm not satisfied with where I'm at, or, you know what I mean? Like you get it in that neighborhood. No, I don't think about it from my own perspective at all. Everything I do in terms of the extra attempts, the extra output that I'm putting down on the line on a day-to-day basis is truly to extract the best answers for you guys over and over and over again. Everything I talk about is vetted out. I will never talk to you guys about something unless I'm telling you, hey, listen, I just landed on this kind of new way of doing things. For example, the 2-a-days. You know, it's been going absolutely phenomenal, but I still like to let it settle in, and that way I can give you guys like these little things where it's like, hey, here's are some negatives, but here are the positives that completely outweigh the negatives, you know? But I have to give myself time into it. I want to play inside the game. Anyways, you guys are here for a reason. You guys want to grow your chest. You guys have bird chest genetics like me, and it's embarrassing. I get it, 100%. Believe me, I get it. So what I always start off with is strength. Because like I said earlier, I have a ton of goals within my training. And so I want to be strong. I want to have muscle. I want to have mobility, explosive. I mean, take it all the way down the line. I want to have hand-eye coordination in terms of like how I can actually apply this stuff, whatever. If I want to have muscle growth, then I have to train my muscles to move inefficiently. By the way, fun fact, they're basically, when it comes to hypertrophy and muscle growth, it's making the rep harder than it actually is. That way you're delivering more tension, more stress to the actual muscle itself. That's how that works. But for strength, it's about efficiency, which means how do I get all of my body in unison to get up this way as easy as possible. But the way I like to start it off is I usually do like a warm-up set. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how I walk through the progressions of it. We'll do a couple sets, and that's going to basically conclude how this works in terms of the very first part of growing your chest and having a chest that's just, you know, badass. Anyways, so I know that this is going to be light, but I want to gauge how light it's actually going to be. Oh, damn it. The mic. All right, that's fine. We'll adjust on the next one. All right, that felt good. I was kind of having to do a guillotine press there, but let's just readjust. I ain't a rookie. I know how this works. Now what we're gonna do is bump up the weight, obviously. What I'm gonna do is I kind of have an idea of what my top set's gonna look like because obviously, you know, I've been here before. So we're gonna hit that. I'm gonna go right into my first working set. And so for me, I like to just do the warm up, and you want your warm up, literally, the warm up set is specifically to get your muscles warmed up. Like, you're not supposed to be expending any energy. The warm up is meant to almost take you to that 100%. Like, as you know, the moment we walk inside the gym, we are at 100% in terms of energy. But it takes a little bit. You kind of want to have to warm it up. You're just trying to get that gas tank in your CNS, everything fired up to where you're at 100%. The moment you feel like you're starting to enter fatigue, rack it, get started on your first working set. It should be really, really, really smooth. Like right now, what I'll do, take a little bit of a break. And keep in mind, like when I'm doing these strength exercises, which by the way, the only 2 strength movements I'll ever do for the chest, incline pressing. I prefer dumbbells, but all I have is barbells. The heaviest dumbbells I have down here are 40 pounds. That's just not going to do it, obviously. Or weighted dips, and I don't have a weight belt, so that's why I'm showing you guys with this today. But I'll show you a video right here of this kind of what it looks like. Did I add it? Did I not add it? We'll see. But that is the very first thing I do. When I'm prioritizing strength, I found that those 2 movements, incline pressing and weighted dips, move the needle unlike any other exercise. And yes, that includes you flat bench bros, okay? I'm not throwing any shade on you, but that doesn't translate over. A higher incline press will translate over into higher flat benching numbers. Higher weighted dip numbers, the more you can add on to your body, you'll notice that your bench press moves up by proxy, but it doesn't work in reverse. A higher flat bench doesn't necessarily lead to a higher weighted dip numbers or incline pressing. And so for me, I look at everything as efficiency and effectiveness. And I found that those 2 movements, bar none in terms of strength, are OP. They're the best, in my humble opinion. I don't like that I always have to preface everything because everyone's like, well, technically, but yeah, dude, I'm sure there's other people that haven't, but I guarantee you that 99% of you watching this video would benefit from that information. Anyways, let's get into the first set. Let's make it happen. So all I'm doing here is I'm locking in. This weight needs to come up about 4 to 6 times, in my opinion. If it doesn't, I'm a failure. There we go. Okay. I cheated, damn it. Damn, thought I could do a little bit better there, but you saw it. You move it violently. Like, you're not trying to get inside the muscle. That's what that warm-up set is for. That warm-up set is that way you have an idea of like, okay, this is how I need to be pressing. Obviously, the microphone kind of got in the way of that, but it's the same idea. You lock it in, you want to make sure you're pressing from a safe place, your scapula is retracted, everything is pressing the way it's supposed to, and that way you know you're pressing from a healthy place and you're not going to get injured. That's the point. If I get injured, now I'm off on the couch for a while, and now I'm losing gains. So we have to make sure we're doing it in a way that's very safe. But once you have that locked in, move that sucker. Trust yourself. And as you get stronger, the more that can go wrong, right? And that's where you have to start introducing lower trap work, upper back stuff, rhomboids, all that stuff. It's a video for another day. I started thinking I probably could have gone on a long tangent about that, but those smaller muscles do become important as you become stronger. Just because you can lift, you know, I don't know how much this is, doesn't mean that your body doesn't recognize like that's heavy weight. And now your smaller muscles have to help out. So you have to touch up those muscles. So as you get stronger, like be wary of these things. Like I used to get injured all the time as I was getting stronger because I never focused on the smaller muscles. They start to matter here. And then for us, times in between strength movements like this, for example, because this is my strength exercise that I'm doing, I'm gonna wait until I feel like I can do that again and better, right? That's the goal. It's very difficult because obviously I expended some energy there. But that's my point, is you want to keep on the strength. Like, I don't know how much I got on that one. I'm going to assume 5. I definitely thought I was going to get like 6 or 7 off the gate. But I was moving it pretty ferociously. But that's my goal, is I want to explode. It's strength. You want to move it fast. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean you go sloppy or whatever. You saw I was very controlled, but like I'm pushing that fucker. Let's go second set. I think I'm cutting it off a bit short, but just so you guys have an idea too, give yourself time. Like, it's okay if you take 4 to 5 minutes because your goal is strength. You want to be recovered. This isn't muscle growth where you kind of want to constrict it a little bit more. It's strength. Our goal is just to get this weight up and be a power lifter for the next couple sets. You get what I'm saying? Anyways. And use your breath. Very, very important. I cheated a little bit. You see it. Get in, get out. Point of it is like, can you die under the bar? Of course. If I had dumbbells, I probably would take it till failure, like to where I just can barely budget. But ain't nobody down here. I'm not trying to die tonight, you know what I'm saying? Actually, that's cap, dude. That's what I do, bro. I'll lay it all on the line. I just don't see how that'd be beneficial for you guys aside from a purely entertainment standpoint, but believe me, if you stick around on this channel, that's going to happen multiple times. You can even look back at my previous YouTube videos. The amount I fail is just disgusting. But regardless, that's how you want to set it up. So I'm going to show you, we'll do one more. Usually I do about 3 to 4 sets of working sets, not including warm-up, obviously. I'm talking about just the working sets of what I just did. I've done 2. I'll do a 3rd or a 4th. If I'm at a gym, I'll probably do 4 just because, you know, there's just more room to play. Plus, you kind of have the idea. My goal is to give you the information, and that way you guys can take it and run with it. Crazy how, like, do you ever notice that sometimes you'll actually start losing, like, you'll start noticing a shortness of breath, like, 30 seconds to a minute after. I don't know if that's just, like, bad heart or whatever. I don't know. The point is we're laying it all out on the line. But on the 3rd set, I'll show you guys how I set it up for the next phase of my lift. And this is something I just don't see enough people doing. It just doesn't make any sense, especially considering, like, you're going to have to shut off weight anyways. I always look at everything as extra credit. And so the way I'll kind of set this up, and you'll see here in a second, all I'm trying to do is maximize my time. I love training for what it gives me outside of the gym and outside of training. But in terms of the actual training itself, it's grueling. At least for mine, like, I don't know, it's not like I'm going in there like, my gosh, we're going to get after it. Like, I do that, but you're like, damn, like, I know that this works, but it doesn't make it any easier. You get what I mean? You're just beating your ass in there. So in my head, it's like, I might as well reap all of the benefits of being inside these walls. Otherwise, why the hell am I inside the gym? Like, I'm not there to lollygag and to kind of hang out or whatever. I know some people do that stuff. That ain't for me, man. I'm not there to enjoy myself. I'm there to get my results and get the hell out. That's it. All right, last set, and then I'm gonna show you guys how I set up the next phase of my lift. So this is just strength. Think about it, we haven't really done much, right? Like, you're just kind of just like moving away abruptly, but that's how it works. It's a CNS game. You have to get your central nervous system kicked up into a place to where it can sustain that type of lifting, of heavy lifting. And that way you can move it with ferociousness. It's just like sprints. You have to train your central nervous system to just pounce. That's the game. Last set. Fuck it, we're going for it, baby. That's not even a rep. That's a freaking standing hip thrust. All right. Now what I'll do right from here, as I told you guys, I'm actually going to do a drop set. I do this literally after every single, pretty much, honestly, now that I think about it, I do this after every single exercise. I'll always do a drop set. Rarely will I elect not to. And that's just if it's like not convenient to do so. But my point is I have to take off these weights anyways. Like, what are we doing here? I have to take them off anyways. Who cares? Might as well do it. You don't really want to take a break actually. You want to get right into it, which sets us up for the next phase of the lift. It's almost like a perfect segue over, but I'll still try to maintain some sort of strength integrity. But I'm trying to get more inside the muscle than I did on those first sets. But I'm trying to explode up. I go down slow, locking into the muscle, explode up. Don't die. Ooh. And then that's it. And that sets me up for the next portion of the lift, right? Like, I'm still trying to maintain, like I said, some sort of integrity with the strength. That way I can explode up. But eventually you're going to die out, like you're just running out of gas. But it's great because now I'm set up for the muscle growth portion of my next phase of lifting, the hypertrophy section. And that's kind of what I get into. And it's a perfect segue over because now it's like, okay, blood's starting to pump. Bro, pump doesn't indicate muscle growth. Thanks, bro. Anyways, point is, you know, when you start locking into the muscle, it's like, okay, I'm really, really locked in. You know, the mind-muscle connection is there. And now you're perfectly set up for the second portion of the lift. It's basically like, I just talked about it prior to the set. If I'm going inside the gym, I might as well reap all the benefits and just take that lemon, squeeze the hell out of it, and get every last drop of juice. Why else? Why else am I inside the gym? And I'm telling you, when you start setting it up this way, like, you guys will notice there's a formula to this. And I maintain pretty much that formula all the way through, no matter what body part I'm working out. And it's because it's so damn effective. That's all I'm after. And understand, like I said, just to wrap this up, I was someone whose body would not conform the way I wanted it to, right? Because I have all these goals, but there was no answers. It was like, well, if you want hypertrophy, then you have to train just for hypertrophy. If you want strength, then you have to do just strength. If you want mobility, then you have to become the mobility guy who's just all about not using weight. It's like, there has to be a way of taking all these factors and putting them into one. And that's what I've been working on. I've been working out for over a decade. I've been training for over a decade. And it wasn't like it was easy, like, yeah, I just came out the womb, bro, and I was jacked. Like, you guys should see pictures. I have a few reels, like, on, like, you'll even see them, like, with YouTube and stuff. But on other platforms, like, you'll see my genetics weren't good at all. Like, I was that guy who lifted and everyone knew that. I was like, oh, that guy trains. And I didn't look like it. I'd get injured a ton. There's nothing worse than when you know you're putting in a level of effort that is not providing you what you know deep down, like, hey, I'm actually delivering on a lot of intensity here, but my body doesn't show or reflect the hard work that I've been putting in or the time and consistency. That's the worst feeling ever because you're trying so hard and nothing is coming out of it. You're not even proud of yourself. You're just like, why the hell am I beating my own ass? For fun? Like, I'm here for a reason. I'm not getting what I need to out of this. So understand everything I'm talking to is literally from that place that I was in. That's why I had to go out and find the answers. There was literally nobody talking about this. Quite literally, nobody. No one's been able to take all these different factors and really, really dive in deep. And so it's my way of just telling you, like, I'm not talking this out of my ass. I'm talking to you from real life experience. People that I've helped that could not conform. The body wasn't happening the way they wanted to. And they're like, dude, is it really this easy? And it's like, yeah. But the problem was that simple answer took over a decade. I had to go through layers of confusion to then come out and be like, hey, this is easily the most streamlined way of you getting to where you want to go. I appreciate you being here. If you guys want a part 2 on this where I actually get into the muscle growth portion, let me know and I'll make it fresh. I don't want to make videos that you guys don't want. You know what I mean? Like, that defeats the purpose. And obviously, if you guys are asking me for something that I have no idea about, I can't make a video on that. I like doing this shit. I really do have a blast doing these videos. YouTube's by far my favorite platform, and it's just because I get to talk. I'm not having to worry about cuts and stuff. Like, I just rip it raw. You guys get what you see, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But regardless, please subscribe if you guys like this. Comment down below on anything you guys are looking for, please. And if you guys like the comments that you see, give it a thumbs up, and that way I can see, okay, I'll make a video on this stuff. People really like this idea. So regardless, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your time, and I hope this is well worth it. Uncle Rami out. Peace.